A Clayspanation on block grants, categorical grants, and unfunded and funded mandates. There are two types of grants that the federal government gives to local and state governments to complete specific actions or support certain programs. The two types of grants are called block grants and categorical grants. Block grants can be allocated to a wide range of services. The use of this grant is broad and doesn't have strict rules to where the money can go. Examples include welfare grants, such as the temporary assistance for needy families. Block grants have almost no strings attached. Categorical grants may be spent only for narrowly defined purposes. The federal government specifically states where they want the money to be put to use. Examples include anti-poverty programs such as Head Start and Medicaid. There are two types of categorical grants called project grants and formula grants. Project grants are when state and local governments and even individuals submit their applications to the federal government asking for government help. The applications are then scored based upon certain criteria, and the winners of the grant are announced. Formula grants are funding programs that you do not need to compete for, even though you must submit an application and meet other specified requirements. They ensure that designated recipients will receive funds. Mandates are from the federal government to the state and local governments instructing them in what to do. The two types of mandates are funded and unfunded mandates. Funded mandates are regulations passed by the federal government along with funds to support them. Unfunded mandates are regulations by the federal government that forces state and local governments to do something but gives no money to fulfill it. An example is the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Unfunded Mandate Reform Act was enacted to limit federal unfunded mandates imposed onto state and local governments. Recap: block grants are designated for general projects that require major funding. Categorical grants provide funding for specific projects. Project funding requires state and local governments to submit an application and compete with other applicants to get a grant. Formula funding requires state and local governments to submit an application without competing with other applicants to get the grant. Funded mandates are regulations given by the federal government with funding. Unfunded mandates are regulations given by the federal government without funding.